What's up guys, Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this we're going over some of the thoughts and feelings I have going toward the new Global Suga Fest coming out for the 3rd year anniversary coming out on 22nd of February going through the 28th of February for a 6-day Suga Fest. Now there are 3 parts of the Suga Fest, so I'm going to be going over some of the days I think you should pull on, some of the units I think you should pull for, and what you should do and how you should structure your multis for varying lengths of multis that you're going to do. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. Alright boys and girls, well, I've been asked a lot lately in the last couple days exactly what my feelings are on the 3rd year Global Suga Fest, what my feelings are on Global, etc. And there's a lot of stuff coming to Global version. Global is definitely getting a really good anniversary. I'm so glad they're not fucking it up. It's going to bring way more players into One Piece Treasure Cruise so people can choose whatever version they want to play. They can play the Global version, they can play the Japanese version, and it's just going to bring more players to the table. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy with making a hype event for the 3rd year anniversary. They're doing a really good job so far. So let's go into the 3rd year anniversary Suga Fest and talk about the details for the Suga Fest. So recently it was released for all the information for the 3rd year anniversary Suga Fest, and we're going to see some of the things that are coming out there. Okay, so for day 1, we're going to have Lucy, Enel, Sanji, T.S. Luffy, Buggy, T.S. Zoro, Blackbeard, V1 Fujitora, Bartolomeo, Corazon, Lucci, Ace, Shanks, and Boa. Now the characters that people are really going to want to pull for obviously are going to be the Lucy, the Enel, Sanji, T.S. Luffy, Buggy, maybe, T.S. Zoro, and Blackbeard. All of which are very cool legends to have. However, the back end of them with Fuji and Barto, maybe not so much because Barto's, V2 Barto is a long, or not V2, 6+ Barto is a very long way away, and the V1 Fujitora is just falling off in the current meta for Global as well. Day 2 looks like it's going to have Lucy, V2 Lucci, V2 Law, V2 Boa, Nekomamushi, Akainu, Kuzan, Log Luffy, Jinbei, Croc, Mihawk, Marco, and Sengoku. It also, of course, just like every single day, has all the batch units, so that's a pretty good day. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of good legends to pull there for that day, and day 3, or part 3, is going to have Lucy, Magellan, Inarashi, Usopp, Shirahoshi, Hody, Kizaru, Cavendish, Law, Dofi, Sabo, Rayleigh, and Whitebeard. Now, since every day has the banner units, let's take a look at the golds and see if any of these days are going to have really good gold sections. So looking at this, it looks like we're going to have, of the good gold besides the new Lucy units, you have TS Sanji, TS Nami. Those are the good ones that are still good on JP. Elizabeth sometimes, maybe. Then day 2, there's the Boa sisters, which is probably the best there. Marguerite. Then we got Raizo, Conjuro, Carrots, and some Cerebral unit, Pedro, and some other stuff as well. Then on day 3, we got Hannibal, Moria, and Croc, Lucci, and some of the other units, which doesn't really make sense whether they're separated from Enel, but whatever. Day 1 is kind of cool. I am impressed with the set of legends on day 1. To be honest, day 1 looks like the second best day to pull. It definitely does not look like the best day to pull to me. Day 3 looks like the worst day to pull, even though it's got Hody. Hody's nice, and Shirahoshi's real nice too. However, there's a lot of shit in there too. There's a lot of shit. None of those legends are bad on part 3. Part 3 has no bad legends, which is good. That part I like about part 3. There's nothing bad in that day, unless you're considering Psylocke to be bad. And I don't consider Psylocke to be bad. I think Psylocke is very unique, and there's definitely situations where you do use him. There are situations where you don't use him, but he's a unique legend, and he might get a 6+. Who knows? I'd say that day 3 is the safest day, but I'm not gonna. If I was on Global, I would not be pulling that. Day 2, by far, is the best day. There's not even close to a better day. I don't even know why am I making a video on this? Day 2 is so the best. It's got V2 Lucci, top tier legend, really freaking good. V2 Law, everyone loves this character. V2 Boa, she sucks, but whatever, she's fine. I mean, she's probably one of the best shooter legends of the game, so I guess she's good. But, you know, I have her, and I've never found a chance where, like, I really gotta use V2 Boa. I gotta use V2 Boa. I've never been like that. It's never actually, like, been a thing where V2 Boa is, like, Nekomamushi still very strong on JP, starting to fall off in current content, but still very, very strong for all the past content, which is very, very good. Akainu, really good sub. There's a lot of content where he's going to be really good sub. He's also good for the TM Ace combination, so that's also cool too. Good sub for that team. Good team. Good for a lot of teams in general. Very, very interesting unit to have. Really good wave clear as well, and one of the highest attack values in the game. Very cool. 6+ Kuzan. Great unit. Amazing unit overall. Log Luffy. Who cares? Lag Luffy. That's why you should pull that. Jinbei, I would say, Jinbei, Log Luffy, and Sengoku are the only 3 bad legends on this day. Versus a lot of other days having a lot more bad legends or a lot, like, weird, not as good top tier legends. That's why I'm thinking day 2 is by far the best. Because 6+ Croc, when he comes out on the global version, you're going to really understand why the Cerebral meta is what it is and understand how strong the Cerebral meta is. You're not going to get anything that's driven in here. That's the only problem that I'm seeing here, is that the only driven legend that you're really seeing is going to be Akainu. And he really doesn't fit the driven meta, but you can use him as a driven captain along with Dofi if you really want to. But it doesn't really fit those teams. It's kind of a weird captain to bring. But he's still a good unit. So overall, it doesn't really fit the driven meta. It does help the Cerebral meta a little bit, but definitely hits the Powerhouse meta and the Striker meta. Really, really good there. Even if you have these characters, you do not realize it yet on Global, but if you do see it coming out in the future, you're going to see limit breaking be a big thing for the Boa Sisters, as well as a lot of other units that are on here. Definitely a very, very strong day to pull is day 2. Day 1 and 3 just do not hit the mark as good. Day 3 is by far the best in my opinion. Definitely pull on those. Or day 2 is by far the best. I don't know why it's showing Lucy with a Rouge and Vivi. I don't really get that because those are treasure mode units. I don't know who made this, but it's weird. But I think they made it just in mind to show off like Lucy. I don't know if that's the banner or whatever. But I don't think the TM units are with that. But I do think that's the best day to pull. Marco is also a very strong unit for your Lucy team. So if you're going to be running forwards with Lucy, Marco is a very good unit to have on those teams because he's going to heal your team with the full. Intalk is very good when he gets to 6+. It should be coming fairly soon on the global version. So you should see it in the next like 2 or 3 months. That would be really nice to have. There's so many good units here that it's impossible for me to say another day is better. The Boa Sister combination is one of the best and strongest pairings in the game still to this day, even on the Japanese version. There's Kanjuro, which is one of the best chain lockers in the game until you get V2 Rayleigh. Then we're going to have the entire Lucy batch. Cavendish by far is the MVP. Barto is really, really strong for Raid Sanji, so if you did not finish out your Raid Sanji, very, very good for that. Then you have Burgess, who has not really seen any play whatsoever, but is still a good unit. And then we have Diamante, who you do see use of on sometimes in the future. Beppo is going to be good for some Kai raids coming out. There's actually 2, I think, that he's useful for. One for a fighter version, one for a free space person, I believe. So definitely useful for those. And then we're going to see Carrot, not really seeing much use at all. Marguerite, really good for shooter teams. Pedro, really not to see any use until Kai Kuma. I don't think that's on global yet. But when it hits global, you'll understand why Pedro is really useful for those things because he clears ads on that section. Mancherry is one of the best units to have in your arsenal. She is so freaking good still. She's super old, but she's still good. Don't limit break her though. Don't limit break. She'll limit break shit. Mancherry as a unit is a full paralysis, full silence mover already in the game, which is one of the weird things. They just came out with another character that's on the Japanese version that's going to do a full paralysis removal. I don't really get that because we have Mancherry, but it's another unit that does that, so whatever. Then there's Abdulajit, which is really good for something that's, I don't remember what. But he's a cooldown reducer, so I mean, like, he's good for something that was like really, really nice previously. And Danchin Zhao is actually one of the best limit breaks in the game, which is really cool. He goes up to over 1500 attack when he's limit broken. He goes to 5 sockets and like 11 turns, so he's really, really good. 2-turn Orb Booster, Universal Orb Booster. Problem is you have to be low HP, and there are lots of ways on Striker teams to get that low. Powerhouse teams as well, there's a lot of content that pushes you to low HP, so definitely a good unit to have in your arsenal for that Danchin Zhao, especially if you're using a 6+ Kuzan team. You want to extend buffs to bring him into the room. Definitely interesting unit to have, and he's actually really good for Lucy Coliseum when it comes out, so a really good unit to have on that day. Every gold unit on that day is useful and will be useful for the future, except for Orlumbus and Burgess, I get. Orlumbus, Burgess, and Carrot, I'd say the 3. Carrot's still good, but like when you get Caribou, you don't really need Carrot. So it kind of like defeats the purpose. I mean, you have Caribou on global anyway, so it's like why even bother with Carrot? I mean, 10 turns is nice, but who cares? But Orlumbus has always been pretty bad. There's not really situations where you use him a lot, and Burgess, he hasn't seen any play just because there's no use for him right now. But there probably will be. There's probably content in the future that we're going to use him. I think that you would be useful for Invasion Garp, so you'd be able to use the Diamante with him for that content. But I haven't really had a chance to want to use him. But overall, I'd say there is not really a question in my mind on what day is the best day to pull. Definitely day 2. Do not worry about the other days. There are a lot of good units on those days. Day 2 is by far the best. So now let's go over some of the structure of how the multi-pulls are going to work and why I believe day 2 is the best day. It's still going to be the best day. I got this information after the fact, but my opinion stays the same. So day 1, if you pull the first multi-pull, the second multi-pull, you get a legend. The third multi-pull, it's a small pull, but you have a chance at Lucy. Not really a good pool, but it's a pool. The third multi-pull, they have all rate boosted. All possible, these are rate boosted. The fourth multi-pull is a blank. The fifth multi-pull is a blank. And the sixth multi-pull is a guaranteed law. This is a V2 law 6+. If you don't have V2 law 6+, you're going to be really enticed by this day. And then on the ninth multi-pull, you're going to go Lucy, Enel, Sanji, TS Luffy, or TS Zoro. All 5 of these are going to be guaranteed. One of these 5 on the ninth multi-pull. However, most people are not going to be able to do 9 multi-pulls. Most people are going to be able to do 6 multi-pulls or 3 multi-pulls, depending on what they're going to do. If you're only able to do 6 multi-pulls, by far the best day to pull is still day 2. If you're going to be going for the guaranteed law, that's great. I mean, that's awesome, but you might get shafted on your other 5 multi-pulls. Who knows? I'd say the best day to pull for you is by far day 2. And the reason I think that is because you guys are going to get adventure mode. If you did not know, the new adventure mode that's coming out is going to be for a really good adventure mode for the global version. I don't know what it's going to be, but the adventure mode G4 units were the Arouge and the Vivi that you're seeing on day 2. Both of them were 2 times boosters. So if you pull on day 2, you're going to get a guaranteed Arouge on the 11th poster and a guaranteed Vivi on the 11th poster. Meaning so you can have 2 really, really strong boosted units. Vivi is a really good unit after Adventure Mode, and Arouge is a decent unit after Adventure Mode. So you're still going to be able to use both of these characters after Adventure Mode. You're not going to use them all the time, but there are uses to have these units afterwards. So they're not going to be completely useless. Arouge is actually a decent unit. And there are situations where I would actually use this character in a Coliseum situation where the content gets really weird and I need that specific mechanic. So he's actually a decent character. On the third multi-pull, you're going to all possible. These are rate boosted. And seeing how this is a 3x Legend Boost banner, you want to pull them for rate boosted units. Definitely the best way to do it is for rate boosted units because the rated down units are going to be way less often. You're going to get rated down units or less rated units, probably 1 in every 4 legends that you're supposed to get. And the rated boosted units out of 1 in every 3 out of 40 legends. And that's probably the rates you're going to see them at. The rates have not been released, but that's typically what you see, unless you get really, really unlucky. But most people, that's the rate percentages. The reason is because of the legend pools and where they're structured and how they subtract from the other legend pools, etc. What they do when they rate up a legend is they down rate another legend. It's not like you get double rates on those legends. They're actually keeping the legend rate the same and moving them down for rate up units. What happens when you do a 3 times legend rate, however, though, is they triple the rate of all the legends, and then when they do a rate boost, they'll shift the rate up for some of them and lower the rate for the other ones. So the legend rates will stay the same on the 3x. So here's a 1x boost right here, and they're going to boost this section and lower this section. 3x boost, they're going to do the same thing. Boost this section, lower this section. You have a larger chance overall. So that's how the math will work out, and you're going to see way more rate boosted than you're going to see unrate boosted. And that's going to be on the side multis as well. You're going to see a lot of Legends of Suga Fest, so definitely the reason you want to pull is day 2, because RNG-wise, most of you are going to have a really good day on day 2. The fourth multi-pull is a blank, the fifth multi-pull is a blank, and the sixth multi-pull is going to be all possible again, but rate boosted. Now, the reason I say if you're going to be pulling on day 2 is the best is because you have 6 chances to get these units. You don't have guaranteed chances, but the thing is with the 3x legend rates, which you've never experienced before, you're going to see in 6 multis at least 4 to 5 legends, at least. The worst I've seen was 3. I think the worst I've seen was 3 legends out of 6 multi-pulls. Somebody pulled 1 guaranteed, and 1 legend out of 6 multi-pulls. It was extremely unlucky, but typically people see 4 to 5 legends. And mine, if you go back to my my 3-year anniversary Superfest, I'll put the link up in the card description above. I actually had a lot more than 3, and there were a lot of people that pulled a lot more than 3 as well. If you're going to be doing 9 multi-pulls on day 2, main thing here is you're going to get a guaranteed Lucy guaranteed V2 Lucci, guaranteed V2 Law, which is coming in again, guaranteed V2 Boa, and guaranteed guaranteed Nekomamushi. All 5 of which are stupid fucking strong. There's no bad pull on the 9th multi. I mean, the bad pull is V2 Boa, and how bad is the bad pull being in V2 Boa? I mean, that's still pretty good. The 9th pull is still really fucking good, and I think is the best 9th pull. So if you're going to go 9 deep or 6 deep, I think you're still on a better day on the day 2. Part 3 has the Shanks and the Boa secret suit characters were only available on the 3rd year anniversary for the Japanese version. I have seen people use Shanks once in the last 9 months or so. Like one time, I saw it. Like I really wanted him for Shiryu teams, but beyond that, I never saw people use him. Boa, I've never seen anyone use her ever. Fuck her. Who cares? I don't even know what she does. But yeah, who cares? Big ol' who cares on both of those characters. The legends that are possible, great. The legends that are guaranteed, however, you got Lucy, Magellan, Inarashi, Usopp, and Shirahoshi. Usopp, really good for Invasion Cavendish, but since you don't have guaranteed invasions on the global version, probably not your best bet to go for. Inarashi, still useful to this day, but really kind of like a niche use. Magellan, super good. Really, really, really good. Shirahoshi and Magellan together, so good. However, I would much rather have the other legends that are on day 2. The day 1 legends are Enel, which is my favorite character to play still in this game. I don't use them as much anymore because I just have it's too slow to farm. Sanji's trash. Who am I kidding? T.S. Luffy, I kind of want him again just to play around with the Frankie teams and the Rayleigh teams with him, but beyond that, it's a toy for me. It's not really like a thing. It's really I need that. And Tia Zoro, to be honest, he's power crept on JP. I don't even with 6+, I don't even want him. He's power crept too hard. So day 1 is really, to me, is not a good day for 9 multis. If you're gonna do 9, day 2 is by far the best. There's no question. And even if you have all of these legends, or you have 4 of them, or you have 3 of them on day 2, it's still really good to go for day 2 because of the other legends on the pool. If you don't have all of these legends, obviously the best day. If you have, let's say you're missing 3 of the 5 on day 1, and you're missing 1 of the 5 on day 2. I can see it. I could see you switching over to day 1. That's fine. I can't really stop you or deter you and say that's better or worse, but whatever. On day 3, just don't do it. Day 1 or day 2. Day 2 is by far better in my opinion. Day 1, not so much. And the reason day 2 I think is better, also, if you don't know, that's probably about how much time? It's probably about 16 hours you save of your life if you pull on day 2, at minimum. And plus, you get way more rewards. So, people always talk bad things about treasure mode units and not be able to use them afterward. But once you pull them, you're like, well, this is fucking amazing. I understand. But since the other thing is they're guaranteed here, so that's really, really strong. So if they are treasure mode units, which I don't think they wouldn't be, if they aren't treasure mode units, fuck you, man. That's mean. That's fucking mean. I really hope they are treasure mode units. That would suck if they're not. But definitely pull on day 2. Definitely a great day to pull. Alright, boys and girls. The last bit of wisdom I have for you guys, if you're going to reroll on the Sugafest and you're trying to figure out how you should build your account, how you should use this as, use a stepping stone to make your account better over the entire year, my recommendation is to reroll on day 1. The main reason to reroll on day 1 is because if you're going to reroll on day 1, you have 11 chances to get a legendary character versus the original 10. Because on day 2 as well as day 3, you get guaranteed secret characters on the last pull. Now, it would be nice to have the Arouge to use that as like a Neptune type character to level up and get lots and lots of XP, and I understand that. However, I would like you to have the most amount of time over the entire 4 days to grind out your gems, grind out your characters, etc., and just build out your account as fast as possible over the course of 4 days. The reason you have 4 days instead of 3 if you reroll in part 2 is if you reroll on part 1, you'll then have 11 chances to get like 3 or 4 legends, maybe 5 depending on how lucky you are. I don't even know how many you'll get. The most I've ever seen is 5 on the 3-year anniversary. So you do have a lot of chances there. Plus, there's a lot of other things you can do for legends too. So if you do build out your account the way you want it early on, you get the legends you want, then go into part 2 on the second time it comes around. Not the first time it comes around, the second time it comes around. And you'll be able to have enough time to grind out gems on your first day, second day, third day, and fourth day. And as long as you grind out gems, you might be able to grind out 450 gems if you push really, really, really hard. You want to have the most amount of time to grind out your account, because if you don't have a lot of time to grind out your account and get all the gems you want to get early on, then you're not going to be able to do enough multis and you won't be able to get the other characters you want. So definitely a really good day. Now the thing with these raid up banners and the things with re-rolling your account is that you're not going to have an infinitesimally small chance to get the other legends that are on the other days. It's going to be a decent chance to pull multiple legends. So if you start an account with Lucy and Enel and maybe get lucky enough to pull like V2 Law or something else on your account, as well as like Marco or like Rayleigh or Whitebeard or whatever, and you get lucky enough to pull like a 4 legend multi or 3 legend multi or whatever you're going to get, and you roll on that account and you start with that account, that is a very good account to start with. So you're able to have a lot of really good stuff on your account, and then you're going to go through the other days and be able to just say, okay, I'm going to go all in on day 2 on the second time it comes around, and I will be able to do tons of multis over the course of those days because I ground out my account. I'm going to have this a free-to-play whale account for the next year. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this episode of should I pull or not pull on this third tier Sugo Fest. Obviously you should pull. It's the best Sugo Fest that's ever come on the global version. Definitely a great Sugo Fest. However, the best day to pull, of course, is part 2 on the Sugo Fest, and it comes around twice, so you do have 2 chances to get it. So hope you guys take advantage of it, and hope you guys do enjoy grinding out your accounts. Alright guys, well my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support in the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. And if you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, make sure you guys hit the bell notification right next to it, so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Have a great rest of the day, guys. Peace.